All right, welcome to EXCIA. I am so honored to have my friend and literally a legendary consultant in our industry, Al Trellis, owner of Home Builders Network. Al, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you. Glad to be
Yeah,
here.
good, good. I really am honored to have you here. Al is one of those sort of secret weapons, if you will, or one of those industry icons that not everybody knows about, but those that know Al really, really respect him. I work with so many builders, and that's how I learned about Al in the first place. But when his name comes up, they're like, yeah, he's the standard, he's the gold standard for our industry. So for those that don't know Al, strap yourself in. You're in for an amazing next 45 minutes or so on our podcast. Let me just give you a little background. Let me find my notes here on the company here, and then we'll let Al talk about himself, and you're going to realize you don't need much from me after this. So Al has 40 years experience as a custom builder, engineer, consultant, columnist, and speaker. Al, you're known for your creativity and insights into improving profits and productivity. And so he's written numerous books and over 200 articles about life and various aspects of home building. And you are the owner, founder of Home Builders Network, along with Brad, your son, and your other colleagues. So Al, tell us about yourself. What got you started in the industry? Tell us about your background and what you do.
I've got to chastise my son. He sent you an old one. It's 55 years now.
Oh
Um,
no, actually, I got it from your website, so I didn't even know. He
yeah,
said,
well,
"Don't bring him back. He's a good
we're
guy."
very
Yeah,
we don't do a
like
good we
that.
don't do a good job of keeping our website up because we don't want any
I
more
figured 40
clients.
years didn't make any sense. I've been 40 years, and no offense, but I'm a little younger.
Yeah. Um, so we have 48 clients across North America who collectively build about $2.4 billion worth of homes. I don't work with the nationals. I compete against the nationals. I most of my clients are between most of them are between 20 and 200 houses. I
Sure,
have two outliers below 20 houses. I have a couple of outliers, one that builds 600 houses, but most of my clients are 50, 100, 200 house a year
sure.
builders.
Yeah, which a lot of our audience, I think, are like that. There are a few nationals, I think, that listen and they're welcome. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think we share a lot of the similar builders.
And
Uh,
I've had the same business partner for 55 years. We were
okay.
in the army together a long, long
Oh,
time ago.
thank you for your
Um,
service.
yeah, thank you. And so we 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 sort of try to understand every aspect of home building. I do a lot of speaking. Well, not as much as I used to. I do maybe six, eight speeches a year. I like back in the beginning, I did 100. I like to write. My wife and I still travel quite a bit, but I've cut it back. But we're on the road about 80 days a year for my clients and my business, another
Yeah.
40 or 50 for our personal travel.
Yeah, I was lucky to
Um,
get you. Brad sent me your calendar, and it was today or about a month and a half from now. So
it's
I
yeah,
said, Let's
it's
do it
pretty
now." Yeah,
hectic.
yeah.
My theory is I'm not a kid anymore. Let's do as much work as we can while we still can,
I
because
know what you
before
mean.
I
I
know it,
agree with that.
I won't be able to anymore.
You never know.
So yeah, so uh, we we try to cover up pretty much every aspect of home building, but I'm not. I don't consider myself a sales and marketing consultant, but I
Right.
understand sales and marketing. I don't, pretty well actually. I think I don't consider myself to be a house designer, although I have designed and participated in the design. I guess I am a house designer. We own the copyrights to almost 1,000 houses that we've
Wow.
done through the
Home
years.
plans. Yeah.
And we sell our plans to builders and we sell our plans on the internet to the public through
Sure.
some um, partners. We have a lot of
Right.
partnerships. We're involved in a lot of things around the country.
Sure.
We're development partners in 8 developments across North America.
Oh, good for you.
We own parts of a couple of home building companies.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
so that's kind
So
of what we do.
you actually walk the walk. You're not just giving advice, but you're
I'm
actually in the
trying to
industry.
walk the walk. Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, good. And you're also known a lot for your pricing advice. And you also didn't you come up with the concept of Builder 20 clubs and
I
actually
did.
manage that for NHB for a number of years?
Yeah. When I years ago, I was very, very active at NHB and served as the chairman of the Custom Builder Single Family Committee, the Education Committee, and the business management committee at different times. And
Sure.
when I was chairman of the custom builder committee, one of our members from Colorado, Alan Brandt, said, you know, these automobile dealers have these clubs where dealers from different parts of the country get together and trade ideas. And so we liked it, so we decided to do it.
Yeah.
You know, in those days, the committees had a lot of power. We would just do what we wanted to do and then get permission later from the parent
Sure.
organization. So we started the 20 clubs, yes,
Good for you. Yeah.
90s.
Yeah, in the 90s, you should be proud of that. Well, that's amazing. And you still speak at Builder 20 clubs, I believe you.
I
I know
do. I
that your
speak at
name comes
about
up
four or
constantly.
five a year.
Yeah, which is wonderful. Well, all right. Well, thank you for that background. Again, it's something a little hard to describe what you do because you do so many things at such a high level. As I said, a couple of my sales directors and owners like, well, Al is just like he's the best of the best, and that's literally what they say about you. Let's talk about vision and leadership. I know that you talk about that a lot, Al. So, could you help us understand the starting point for everything? And that most builders skip straight to land and floor plans. What are they missing, and what does it actually cost them if they don't talk about vision and leadership?
Well, you know, there's one of my favorite quotes is, if you don't know where you're going, every road will
Yeah,
take you there.
right,
And
exactly.
so, I, you know, when you said, what do I really do? I'm really a strategic coach who also is comfortable tactically
Right,
with my builders. I have to
right.
deal with principals. I'm not adverse to dealing with their staff and helping individuals, but I must have access to the principal of the company or I won't work for them. Because
Good. I love it.
because leadership starts at the top. And
Right.
we talk about vision. Three things I like to talk about that most builders don't really think about is vision, planning, and leadership. And
Okay.
um, you know, and most of my leadership training came from, you know, what I was taught as a leader in the Army, and those foundations are once they put them in your head, you can't get them out, right? And
Right.
so, um, but vision is really about understanding where you want to go, so you don't get distracted along the way.
I gotcha.
It's very easy. My greatest weakness is sometimes I'm easily distracted because
Me
I like to
too.
do a lot of things. And so
Right,
when you
right,
like to do a lot of things, if you're a little bit ADD,
right,
then that's what happens. And
right,
so a clear vision of who we want to be, what we want to do is important. And then the planning is about how are we going to get there to fulfill and attain the vision that we have. And so
right.
I have clients who build 40 houses a year, and their vision is I'm going to build 41 next year and 39 the next year. And that's my vision. It's like, help me be the best 40 house a year home builder I can be, make the most
Right,
money I can make, be happy. I think that's a big thing that I preach to all my clients. Like, it's not only about money, right?
right.
Money is important, but a lot of my clients have enough money. And sometimes I have to remind them, like, it's not really about needing more money. You don't need anything else from what you have. So if you want more because you're greedy or because you feel like you really
Ambitious.
need a bigger yacht or whatever, I can help you do that. But before I do that, I want to discuss with you, is that the right vision?
Right. Okay. Fair
And
enough.
so that's why I think it's
So
really
that well, good. And then planning and leadership, since you mentioned it, how do those things connect together for you?
well. The leadership part is the cultural heart of your business, right? I talk a lot about corporate culture. It's very
Right.
important to have the right culture in your company
Yeah.
for a lot of reasons. Number one, for your own personal satisfaction. Number two, to get the right people in your company and keep them. And to feel like you go to work every day in a place that you enjoy. If you
Yeah.
have a bad corporate culture and you go to work and everybody's fighting and everybody else is back, and that just doesn't
Right.
work. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
well, I mean, I have my biggest client who I've been with for 28 years. And I guess I should say many of my clients I've been with for over 25 years. Um,
Really? Yeah. Amazing.
which which either I'm really know how to fool people or we're actually giving them advice. Um,
That's funny.
yeah, we that company grew from when I got there at $14 million to over $500 million a
Good
year.
for you. Good, good, good.
And
Wow, incredible.
that principal, that owner, he's all about strategy, all
Right.
about corporate culture, all
Sure.
about our
Okay, all
slogan
right.
is
So
doing
I,
good,
mhm.
doing good by being doing well by I can't remember. It's doing good by doing well, right?
Right, and
So
doing the right thing, and
yeah,
sure, yeah.
doing well
But
by
can we?
doing good. I got it backwards.
But
Doing
I,
well
so
by
I,
doing
So I had this epiphany. I don't have anywhere near as many, miles on the, on me as you do in terms of experience. And as a coach, I realized I missed this with my sales directors, where we kept hiring people that didn't fit, didn't work out. And I finally said, you know what? It's the culture. They don't fit our culture. Bless their hearts. They're nice people, et cetera, et cetera. But they weren't working overtime. They weren't doing the things we wanted to do. And I said, I don't think we've defined what our culture is and and out of that leads our expectation. Like that's the center of the circle. Could you expand for me? Could you tell me how do you create that? I mean, how do you verbalize that culture? Without spending the next 4 hours on it. What do you do to metamorphize the culture so that it's a real thing and it cascades through the company?
well. The first thing it does is starts with what we call core values.
Right,
Every good company has a set of core values, and
right,
they will not make exceptions.
sure,
I mean that's an important. Uh,
yeah,
we just turned down a really big deal at one of our companies because it did not align with our core values. Could we have
well,
made a lot of money? Absolutely, but it did
sure,
not. It was not something that we felt we should be involved in, and that was
well.
not
Can you
debatable.
expand upon that, or is it too top secret?
Well,
Or
yeah,
would it
like
hurt people?
honesty. I mean, I could show you some of one of my builders' 10 core values, but
Yeah,
we're customer centric. There's a core
right.
value. That doesn't mean I'm
Okay.
going to allow the customers to abuse me or my
No,
employees, but
right,
we're going to try to do the right thing. We believe in fair dealing.
right.
We believe in community involvement. We,
Good.
we believe in doing the right thing. We believe that a handshake matters.
Yeah,
These are things
I
that
love that.
make up a
Yeah,
corporate culture. We believe in self-improvement. So
good.
if you really believe in self-improvement, then put your money where your mouth is. What are you going to
Right.
do for your employees? How many
Yeah,
hours
yeah,
off are you going to give them to go make themselves better personally?
sure.
How many hours to make themselves better for the business?
Yeah, yeah,
They're separate and related. So there's a million
definitely.
aspects of what makes a great corporate culture, but it all starts with the right core values and the
I
adherence
love it.
to those core values.
Right. And is that
Easy
something that
to
you,
say I'm an honest guy till someone says there's a lot of money in a dishonest thing. How much,
yeah.
if you ask the question, how much money,
Oh,
that you just told me you're ready to violate your core values.
yeah. What's your price? Oh, well, you didn't say 2 billion. Okay, then. No, no, I'm just
Right.
kidding. I agree with you. It's a very important thing, and it shouldn't be underestimated. What do you think is the biggest mistake
By the
in
way, do you know the
leadership?
song, you know Meatloaf, singer?
Yeah, yeah, I remember
Well,
Meatloaf. Yeah, I'll do
you
anything,
know
but I
the
won't do that.
song, but I won't do that.
Right. We don't know. Do we know what that is, or should I not even
Right.
mention that? I don't know.
Well,
Might be a
he's
different
got a
thing,
lot
but
of
yeah,
different, but in the song he says, but I won't do that.
I love it. Good. Yeah. If it violates your core values, your mission statement, I think that's great. And yeah, developing that culture from the top down is so important. Before we get into pricing, I'm dying to learn from you about pricing. I know that's something that you really specialize in. But prior to that, one last thing on leadership. What do you see as whether you're a builder that does 20 homes or 500 homes? What do you think is the single most common leadership mistake that you see out there in North America?
Well, um, really, really good leaders have the capability in their mind to put themselves into the position of their subordinates. So I'll give you a real example. It's
Sure.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to visit a house with one of my builders, and there's a guy sweeping in one of his laborers, and he says hello to him. And as we walk out of the house, he's like, "Man, John, I can sweep twice as fast as Johnny." And I said, "Well, that's a very interesting observation, but it's like you need to wake up and really think about this." He's like, "What do you mean?" Well, has Johnny been here since 8 o'clock sweeping? Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, so he's been doing this for 8 hours. Number one, do you want to do
Yeah.
that for 8 hours, by the way?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Number two, maybe you could do it twice as fast at 8 in the morning. Like
Right.
maybe he was twice as fast at 8 in the morning.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
number two, how much money did you make last year? And he said, about $800,000. And I said, and how much money did Johnny make?
Yeah.
He said, about $40,000. I said, so unless you can sweep twice, 20 times as fast as Johnny, why are we having this conversation? Oh, and
Yeah.
last of all, could we ask you
Right.
one more question? Do you
He's
want
going to regret
to
talking to you about how he feels from now on.
Right, do you want to sweep? No, I
Yeah.
don't want to sweep.
No,
Okay,
no,
so
I
you
get it
don't
though.
want to do it. You don't
Right.
want to do it for 8 hours. You can't do it 20 times as fast. Now I want you to think
All day
about it.
long.
And then tomorrow I want you to tell Johnny, by the way, I really appreciate that you sweep out all my houses.
Nice. Good for you, man. Yeah, I like it. That sounds like the right way to lead. So yeah, so that being a mistake, then you mean sometimes I think that is that a leaders micromanaging or having not been grateful enough, or not having the right expectation, not forgetting where they came from. For most of us, we've pulled ourselves up by the bootstraps.
Congratulations, all of the above.
All right, so there we go.
Yeah, I mean, a
But not
lot
just
of it.
one.
This is my reputation, by the way, among my clients when they talk to each
Yeah, yeah,
other. Right?
yeah.
When Al comes to town, he's going to make you spend money.
Oh, is that right?
He's
Yeah.
going to make you spend money two ways. He's going to tell you to go buy some land.
Okay.
He's going to tell you you need more land or
All right. Well, let's talk
this
about that in a
piece,
minute then.
right?
Okay.
And the second thing he's going to tell you is, are you paying your people enough? So
Okay.
let's take a typical builder who builds 50 houses a year and makes $2 or $3 million. Okay. Who built all those houses? He didn't build all those houses.
No,
Yeah, he
no.
found the land. He did but in the end, he didn't build jack. He he didn't go out there with a hammer. He didn't dig a hole. He didn't go out there and spend 5 hours selling the house to Mrs. Jones. He didn't do any of those things.
Yeah, yeah.
So those people who work for us have to make a living just like he does.
Yeah.
So if he gave them, just to make a number up, an extra $150,000 and spread around among 20 or 30 employees or whatever there are
Sure.
for 50 million, that's probably 20 employees. It's $25 million. So maybe there's 15, 18 employees. He spread around $10,000 each. This one's more worthy, got a raise, a bonus, whatever it is.
Right.
Does that really change his financial situation?
No, no,
It
no,
doesn't
because the
change
extra,
does it
no,
change their financial situation?
right. A
We're back
lot.
to
Yeah,
the
sure.
leadership. Put
Yeah,
yourself in
yeah.
their head, right?
Right, right.
Uh,
Yeah.
he gave the laborers, he gave everybody a 5% raise. That's pretty generous. Except this guy who's making $16 an hour, you just
Right,
gave him 80 cents. Come
right.
on, man. I'd rather not give everybody a 5% raise and give that guy a buck and a half and give the guy
Yeah.
who's making $100,000 4%.
Yeah. All right,
There's a
good.
whole thing about thinking about those kinds of things
Sure.
that's a leadership issue.
Okay. I never actually had understood that about what you would provide as a coach and what leadership is. I've never touched that. So this is fascinating. Also,
Well, a lot
go
of my
ahead.
conversations with my clients take place somewhere between 7:30 and 11 o'clock at night. And
Oh,
a
do
lot of
they?
those conversations have nothing to do with anything other than help me think about this, help me figure
Good.
this out.
Look at
And a
you.
lot
Yeah, I
of
like it.
times, my job is to be the mirror and say,
Sure.
let
Yeah.
me ask you a question, which is effectively look in the mirror.
Right.
What if you do this, what does it mean? If you do that,
Right.
what are the
Love it.
benefits? So,
Yeah. And everyone needs that, when with great coaches, I know that, I don't work out enough. I got a coach at it was LA Fitness, and I don't think they told me anything I didn't know, but they were honest with me. They got me doing it, and it's lasted a little bit. I need to probably go back. But that's sometimes the best coaches in the world, like you, are good at that. You're letting people look in the mirror, and they can figure it out themselves, almost sort of Socratically. You ask them questions, and from what I've watched already. What if you do this? What if you think, oh, well, I could do that? And it's like they've figured it out for themselves thanks to you holding up that reflection of what they're doing and where that's going to take them.
right, half of what I do is validation.
Is what?
Validation.
It's validation. Okay,
Yeah. I
sure.
mean, a lot of times it'll be like this. You know what? overall, I'm very happy with what you're doing. I think you're doing a great job.
Okay.
That's how we always start, by the way.
Oh, do
Unless
you?
you're
Okay.
doing it terrible. But if there's anything
Right.
positive, I'm going to start with that. But
Right. They always call it like a poop
let's
sandwich. You
talk a little
start
bit
with the good
about
stuff.
but let's talk a little bit about your sales. You
Yeah.
said you wanted to sell 40 houses. We sold 36 houses. That's not bad. It's not terrible. We did great. But why didn't we get those last four houses? In fact, why didn't we exceed the 40 and sell
Right.
44 houses? So my observations are this. Tell me what you think about those observations.
Sure. Sure.
Do you think I'm on the right track? Yeah, I've actually
Sure.
thought so. It's a lot of
Can
that.
it, Perfect. Can I keep us on track? Only with we could spend 7 hours, 8 hours.
Podcast. You can do whatever you want.
Well, I've got my virtual academy later today. I'm going to graduate a whole class of 25 newly minted salespeople from across the country. So that's always fun. But well, I want to focus on learning from you. So talking of profitability, etc., the relationship between land, because I know that you coach people on buying land and the importance of that, and then pricing as well. I can't wait to hear your viewpoints on both.
So we'll talk
I
about
didn't mean
land
to miss
quickly.
product, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about land. As builders, we sell something that's unique. Each one's attached to a different piece of land.
Right.
And so, number one, you got to look at land on both a micro and a macro basis. From a macro basis, is it in the right place? Is it, and do we need, and then strategically, do we need it? I just wrote an
Right.
article about strategy, about business as warfare. And I've always been fascinated by Sun Tzu
Sure.
and other things. And as a student of the military, I'm always
Yeah.
so I wrote a paper that talks about what we can learn from Sun Tzu, Napoleon, and Clausewitz in terms
Wow.
of warfare and how it applies to business. So sometimes strategically, we need a piece in a certain market to balance our production or whatever. So
Sure.
the first question about any land is does this piece fit strategically into what I'm trying to do? And
Right.
then once we have it, what do I do with it? And that
Right.
my partner and I are both land planners. We like to land plan.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, very
we
nice.
do a lot of land planning for builders. And most of the time they give the piece of land to their engineer to do the land plan, which is the worst thing you can do because
Sure.
most engineers, not all, but most, are not good land planners. They're just good engineers.
Right.
And they're not the
Completely
same thing.
different. No, right. Completely. I understand that.
Because
Yeah.
there's an artistic part to land planning, there's a
Yeah.
sales part to land planning, there's a integration to your product part to land planning that the engineer can't understand. He hasn't
Right.
been
Right.
trained to understand it.
Right.
So that's the key to land planning, and that's the key to
Sure.
land.
Right.
Where is it? Is it the right price for what you want to do with it? And then what are you going to do with it? That's the right
Hmm.
thing to do with it for you, your company, your vision, your plan.
Right. Is there a rule of thumb and sort of years of runway in terms of land ahead of you? Like for
Yeah.
your typical mid-sized builder, how many years of land, are you thinking that they should have to be comfortable? And how much is too
Well,
little? Because I know some builders
there,
I work with do run out of land from time to time.
well, that we call that gapping out. Yeah. So
Capping out.
gapping out.
Unintentionally, I think.
Oh, it's always unintentional. Yeah. So
Yeah.
here's a good rule of thumb:
Yeah.
15 to 18 months of finished lots,
Okay. I'm writing this down, although AI will probably help me. 15 to 18 months of finished. Okay.
and another 3.5 years, 3 to 4 to 5
Right.
years of control in the future. It doesn't mean you have to own
Sure.
it, by the way. You can sometimes we can
Okay.
control it without owning it.
Sure.
It could be the future phase of a project that I haven't purchased yet, but I could have a contract where I don't
Right.
have to buy them for six, whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
A
one of
lot
the
of
things about
intent to have
land
that.
is land deal. One of the things I'm supposed to be good at is deal structure and helping people
Well,
envision deals that they
you're not
can
supposed to be
do.
good at it. You're great at it. Yeah. Yeah.
The
It's a lifesaver.
well, I like we just did a piece in Texas. Um, we got control of 100 the last land plan at 109 lots.
Okay.
Um, and because of the nature of it, we're buying all the land at once. but we'll probably develop it in two phases. We might develop all
Okay.
of it, but my builder is strong. We can afford to develop it all. But a lot of times that same piece, I might buy it in two lifts. I might buy the front 40
Yeah.
and the back 40 separately. We've got some that
Right.
we do that. I've got one where we just put in a proposal day before yesterday. We're buying a big piece in four lifts, a quarter of it now, a quarter in 2 years, a quarter in 4 years, and a quarter in
Oh,
6 years.
wow. A 6-year plan.
And
Incredible.
when
And
it's
the
all
seller's
done,
okay
we're
with
going to
that?
get
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
350 lots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm partners in a piece in upstate New York where
Like
we have
75.
420 lots.
Mm-hmm.
We bought all the land up front, but we're developing it in 5 phases.
I see.
And now,
Yeah.
and in phase one, we have a very expensive clubhouse about to go in.
Right.
We've already sold 150 houses. We've delivered 110. Now the clubhouse is under construction.
I see.
So a
And is
lot
that
of it's
the,
about
yeah.
timing and phasing and things
Yeah,
like
yeah. So that whole strategy of showing them the club but not building it too early, but also not building it too late where people don't believe it's even going to happen.
that.
You want
Exactly.
to time it just right to get that sweet
You know,
spot.
we never time it just right. We want to try to time it just right
Tried it just right.
and
Yeah, I appreciate
time
that.
it mostly right. Yeah.
Yeah, gosh, again, there's so much I could learn, but let me get my questions organized in my mind. Many of the builders I work with, again, they're the 20 to 200 a year builders, just like you described. So they're buying land, but then all of a sudden the big nationals move into their market. As they have every right to, but it makes it very difficult because
I'm
the
dealing with that
profitability
right now.
is evaporated overnight. One of my builders just said, forget it. I'll just sell them the land because the upside profit potential was evaporated overnight when this big national came in, and we're going to build homes, which would be for my builder would be almost a cost, and there's no point in just doing this for practice. And quite the opposite. You could spend 2-3 years in it and then not make any money. You'll get out now and make some money. So can you speak to that? Like, is that avoidable, or what is your strategy on that? Is that just
No,
part of my
not only can
business?
I speak to it, I speak to it all the time.
Yeah,
And
there we go.
started talking about it 40 years ago when I
Did you
saw the
really? Oh, no,
rise
you're
of the
ahead of me.
nationals.
Yeah,
And so I've helped 10 of my builders sell their company.
really.
Now, probably 11 now. Of that, I helped one of them create an ESOP.
Okay. Oh, nice.
I helped two of them buy,
Oh, can you describe what an ESOP is? But not everybody in this
well,
audience is
an
going to know what that
ESOP
is.
is
I know what
an
it is. So I'm a bit old.
employee stock ownership
Right, right.
program. And
I know
basically, it's
two
a
builders have done it.
combination of a retirement plan, and it's a special program that the government has. A real
Yeah,
ESOP is a government
right.
mandated program.
What was the reason for that? Why would, other than being nice people, but was that the motivation, or was there a very
Yeah.
strong financial reason for it?
It was a combination. It's almost always a combination because an
Okay.
ESOP is not typically the way you'd get the most money.
No, I wouldn't think so.
So, but the ESOP was only one. I've
Right.
helped several kids buy it from their parents.
Yeah,
My
succession plans.
longest client, who's been my client for 37 years, I helped two of the key employees buy it from the two brothers that owned it.
Really?
And I was actually
Nice.
with them on Tuesday of this week with the
I
new
better know who
owners.
that is, but
So
we'll
for
talk about
me,
that
it's
later.
fascinating. I got to
Yeah,
work with two guys for 27 years. I got to work with four guys for the 7 years of the transition. And now
sure.
I only work for the two guys again. But they're
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
same two guys. They're two new
Oh,
guys.
is that right? That's so interesting. Yeah, sure.
So
But can you go back to the nationals? Like, so nationals come in as they have every right to, but it all of a sudden it makes your land position not worthless,
yeah,
but
I
not
have a
the
builder.
buildability of it. Yeah.
I have a builder in a city that I will not name where the
Okay.
Nationals came in and basically took away
Right.
three-quarters of the developed lots, and the developers who developed those lots in 2 years. They
Right.
either
Yeah.
bought
Yeah.
up the lots and then they also bought up the future phases of a bunch of
Right.
developments that had been feeding my builder. So our strategy was a couple of things. We were doing more urban downtown. We
Right.
moved into the next ring farther out where they're not, where we can buy land cheaper, but we had to then move our product line down. I mean, now you're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
big time strategy, and we don't have enough
Yeah.
time. If we had a week,
No, no. I mean, I'm interested because the one builder I work with that we just went through this last 6 month, maybe 8 month cycle was what we decided to do together was just bring it more in house and go smaller and more nimble and sort of take down 20 home sites over here and 20, 10 or 20 over there, become more of an infill on your lot builder and become just that nimble Spitfire versus the big giant,
I have a company.
Messerschmitt there's a World War II reference for you that came from nowhere, but that
And I
nimbleness.
know the reference. Yeah. So we started a company in a northeast city. I got 8 builders together. We put in a bunch of money. We started a home building company. We had this guy that we knew that was really good working for a big builder that he really didn't like, who was not a very nice builder. And we started this new company. He's the president. He owns a decent piece. All the rest of us own the rest of it. And we went from zero to $40 million in 4 years.
Oh, exciting.
But,
Wow.
but beyond the original land that we were able to use, we're doing a lot of fours, fives, nines, sevens, 12s, because that's all I can find.
Right, right.
This is a
Okay. Fair
this
enough.
is a market that is very constrained. There's
Right.
5 nationals building there.
Yeah.
It's
So you
a
can't
pretty big
compete with a
market.
big multi-plan community. You're just going to get your butt
Yeah.
handed to you if you try that stuff.
So we have some of the advantages of a production builder because we're very organized and have a very
Right.
sophisticated computer setup that we use. One of our builders already had that. But scale wise, to get any kind of scale totally, I have to do a lot of little things. But we,
Right.
we bring a personal touch that the nationals can't bring. That's the other thing, the other way you compete with the nationals.
Right. Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's great. I know that this builder I'm thinking of, they bought some land in sort of a golf course community that had 20 remaining home sites that had just been untouched for 20, 30 years. And actually, I'm sure that all the residents are thrilled they came in and did that and cleaned it up. And they keep finding these little, I think they're almost larger than infills, because it could be 30 home sites, 40, but it's still just too small for the nationals to be bothered
Well, you'd be
normally
shocked. But where I live,
in
Ryan,
Baltimore.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan just did 11 lot subdivision.
Oh, did they? Oh, well,
I
there we
mean, I
go. There
know
goes that theory.
well, over time, I've been saying for a long, long time, over time, this is what will happen. They'll
Right.
the stuff that they never would do before, as that gets harder for them, they'll
Right.
do smaller. And
Sure.
all the markets that they didn't go to before, the tier two and
Yeah.
tier what they call
Yeah.
secondary and tertiary markets,
Right.
go
Right.
there. And for of the nine of the 11 builders I've helped sell the company, five of them we sold to the nationals or some derivative of the nationals
Right.
for the reason I told my builder, you're on the road to you can't compete.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Now,
sad
while
day,
you
I guess,
still
but
got a
yeah.
bunch of lots
Right.
that
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
bring you value and you can do
Right.
development for them. So we just sold one recently, a fairly big transaction. And for
Yeah.
some of them, it's time mentally. Some of them,
Yeah.
it's time age-wise. And
Yeah.
some of them, it's time just because if you stay hang around long enough, you'll be
Yeah.
irrelevant.
Yeah, you turn it into dust instead of cashing out at the optimal time, and you can always come back. I mean, I've got a good friend of mine, a builder in Nashville. I'll just say his first name is Gary, and I think I noticed he sold his collection of home sites, and I think did very well from what I could gather. But I'm pretty sure his non-compete is over, and my gut tells me he'll be back. He's young enough to come back and dabble or do something. So I see that a lot with some of these builders where they cash out, reorganize, and come back in a different
I
vein.
have two of
Let's get
them.
yeah. Let's get to pricing though, because pricing is something you're really known for. That land conversation, by the way, I found it enthralling. If you're a new home nerd like me, like some of our viewers will be, then that was priceless. But let's talk about your pricing strategy, if you don't mind.
Well, we'll start with my premise. My
Okay.
premise is that builders are terrible pricers.
Okay, that's
They
probably
they
true.
don't they're almost all cost-based pricers,
Right. Okay.
and they really have to be market-based pricers. The
Interesting. Yeah.
second
Cool.
thing is they almost always use fixed margin mindsets. You got to
Hmm.
use variable margin mindsets.
I
And
love it.
and so and again, this is about tactics versus strategy.
Hmm.
The, the the best house is the last house, right?
Okay, yep.
If you think about it, I can afford to sell the last house for a lower margin than the first house. Second thing is the market will not reward a poor performer. The market
Right.
does not award inefficiencies. The market rewards efficiencies.
Mhm.
So if you're an inefficient producer, you don't get to mark up your cost the same as the guy who's an efficient producer.
Right,
And
right.
that's why cost-based pricing is a fallacy. It's got to be
Hmm.
market-based pricing. And if you're really good, I have builders that make, I'm embarrassed to say this. I know not only a few of mine, but I know of builders and I have builders who make net margins in the 20s
Oh yeah, amazing, incredible.
and,
Yeah,
and
and
some
for
in the
the
high 20s. But
really
that doesn't happen in all their neighborhoods. It doesn't
right.
happen all the time.
Ah, well, that's the flexibility you need to have, right? You can't have one dogmatic rule that every home has to yield 25% net.
Right.
I wouldn't think that could be doable or sustainable. I would
I
stress
have
out.
a dogmatic rule.
Yeah,
Want to know what it is?
I'd love to hear, of course.
There
Yeah.
are no dogmatic rules. That's my dogmatic rule.
Rule number one, there are no rules. Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
And
Right,
so,
right. Good for you, man. I'm a similar human being,
right,
right? I have values, but you got to be flexible and identify what's in front of you and not,
well,
yeah,
I'll give you two quick examples about pricing that we'll talk about.
sure.
One would be for all your salespeople that are listening.
Please, finally.
Let's pretend that you're a custom builder. Just it's easy.
Mm.
And someone comes to you and says, I love to build with you, but your competitor, Billy the Builder, you're Bob the Builder. Billy the Builder will build the exact same house for $30,000 less. And I know you're thinking like, how do I know it's the exact same house? Well, I hope you don't mind. I took those specifications he gave me and I gave them to him. And I also, don't you use Fat Freddy the framer? Yeah, I do. Well,
Fat Freddy.
he
Gonna
uses
get
Fat
canceled.
Freddy too. And don't you buy your lumber at ABC Lumber? Yeah, he
Right.
does too. It's the same house.
Okay.
So what are you going to do about it? So as a salesperson, what should your first thought be?
They're bluffing and that can't be possible, but I don't know, is that the right
No,
answer?
no, no, no,
Oh,
no. It's real. He's got, by the way,
okay.
here's Fat Freddy's proposal.
Well, he came back for a reason. He must like something about what we're
There
doing.
you go. There you go. There you go. There
Right.
you
Well, why is he
go.
telling me this unless he
What,
wants to lower the price or justify what I'm
what's the
doing?
lie? The lie
What's
is
that?
it's the
Yeah.
exact same house. Well,
Oh, well, yeah, exactly.
it may
It
be
can't
the
be.
exact same house physically, although I suspect it's not.
Right. If it's on your lot, then it would be, then they have their land. But if it's a different
Right.
community, of course, lifestyle, location, all those other things factor
But
in.
you hit it exactly right, Roland.
Oh, thank goodness.
If he really believed that it was
Right.
the
It
exact
would
same
important about it.
house and the
Yes.
exact same process, he wouldn't be talking to you. He'd go
Right.
buy it for $30,000 less. But he's
Right.
talking to you. And the
Right.
way I tell my clients to deal with this, to confront it and say to him, hey, Mr. Smith, obviously you know it's not the exact same house. I don't know whether
Oh,
it's
yeah.
about the process or there's a part of the specs that are a little different or you think
Sure.
our lots are better than his. Whatever it is, it can't be the
Warranty
exact same house or he
process.
wouldn't be here.
Right.
So here's what I think, Mr. Smith. You would rather build with us for a reason. I don't
Right.
know the reason and it's not important for me to know it. What we really have here is a discussion about is that reason worth $30,000?
Right. Right.
Right? And
Yeah.
then you can go one of three ways. You can offer to meet somewhere in the middle.
Hmm.
You can
Maybe.
say, you can be hard nosed and say, I I'm surprised it's only $30,000. If I can't build a house that's worth a lot more than that to you just by process alone, I'm not as good as you think I am. Or you
Right.
can
Right.
say, we know there's a difference. Obviously, you don't think it's worth $30,000. What do you think it's worth?
Right. Okay. Interesting. Sure.
Any of those are legitimate techniques from a
Sure.
sales side. I'm not a
Okay.
sales coach. I'm not going to teach which one I have my own
Right. Right.
opinion, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to teach you because that's not my job.
No.
My
No.
job is to help you understand
Right.
the big picture.
But yeah, no, and I love that. I just want to show you this app that I have really, really quickly that reduces to the daily. I was just doing it with a team in Tennessee this morning. So I could put $30,000 into that at today's interest rate of 6.3%. And that's $6 a day is what I'm talking about. $6.19 a day. It's 6.3%. So
By the way, what do you call what you just did?
reduce the ridiculous, reduce to the daily. Is that what
But
you call it?
what is the big concept? It's a cognitive bias. That's framing. You
Right. Okay.
frame $30,000 as $6 a day.
If they're financing, yeah, to get to think differently. And I only did that because I was frontline sales, and my buyers for 10 years always wanted $10,000. So I go, well, let me show you what that is. I didn't have the app back then in the
Right.
1950s, but
Well, but it, if you understand cognitive bias and you
yep.
really study cognitive bias, the two most important ones for builders are the framing effect and anchoring.
Okay.
And the
Let's talk more about
framing,
that then. That'd be perfect.
sure. So the framing effect, what you did is a subset of the framing effect.
Okay.
You change the lens by which people look at something because you
Okay.
framed it differently.
I
And
love it.
it's one where we reduce a number to a different kind of number. We
You're right.
change a number.
Right. Right.
That's a way of framing. Here's another
Right.
way. Would you like to buy this milk? It's 99% fat free. I would.
Hmm.
How about
Right.
this milk? Would you like to buy it? It's 1% fat.
Yeah.
I don't like the second milk. Hey, dummy, it's the
Right.
same milk. I
Right.
just
Right. That's
I
it.
just I
Yeah.
just screwed around with your head a little bit.
Well, that's how guys like me actually make a living. I have a whole word list in my material, which I didn't make up, by the way. I learned it somewhere. It's not a house, it's a home. It's not a lot, it's a home site. It's not a contract, it's an agreement. Because I guess I didn't know I was reframing it. I love that. I'm fascinated by what you mean by cognitive bias or what that is in this context. If you could
So there
elaborate
are
that for me. Yeah.
the most the best the guy who's the father of a lot of this is a guy named Daniel Kahneman, who won the Nobel Prize for
Wow.
economics in about 2001, I think.
Oh, really?
And you can read some of his books. You can also read a great book about him
I'd
called The
love to.
Undoing Project by
Okay.
Michael Lewis.
All right.
One
Undoing
of my
project.
favorite books.
Yeah.
And he's a very interesting guy. And he had a partner. They're both Israelis and they very brilliant guys. And so psychologists today will tell you typically if you go to Wikipedia and look up cognitive bias, there's a list of about 300 of them. But
Okay.
but some of them are related to others and some of them are different names for the same one. But the most there's like about six of them. If you want me to send you a list of them, I will.
Oh, I'd love to hear more about it. No, no, I'm
Yeah,
learning so much. I love this
so
free flow conversation.
framing is really a very common cognitive bias technique. Another one that really applies to builders is called anchoring. And
Hmm.
anchoring is about you put a number in somebody's mind, and then when they go to adjust from that number, there's something called insufficient adjustment. So
Hmm.
if I can put a low number in your mind and you adjust up, and I can put a high number in his mind and he adjusts down, in the middle will be a gap,
Right, right.
which is why when you list your houses, you're supposed to list them from highest to lowest, not from lowest to
Okay.
highest.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Because if I get you to start at the top, you won't
Right,
go as far down as the guy
right.
comes up
Well,
who starts. You follow me? There'll be a
yeah, I
gap.
got to learn more about this, honestly, because I teach it. I just got off, I had a Zoom right before you with this team in Chattanooga, and I consistently teach the when you talk pricing, you arrive at a very high number. So instead of saying we build homes in this neighborhood from, from the fours to the sixes, if you could build at 750 or 800,000, people will hear that number and go, oh, if I'm only spending 600 against 800, as long as it's real, that's a much better value. So I teach them to be brave on that upside. Don't, if it's a million, tell a million, but now I'm building a home in a neighborhood for 600,000 or 700,000. So maybe I'm doing something similar, but maybe I should change the order and start from the high and go to low, is what
As a
you're saying.
general rule, we start from the top.
All right,
The
I got to
second,
try that.
by the way, I
I
know that
like it.
builder in Chattanooga, and you know that I know him, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have my own builder in Chattanooga.
Oh,
So,
that's right, right, right. They're
and in
lovely people.
fact,
They
your
really are
builder has
lovely
asked me to
people.
work for him, but I can't work for him because I work for the
Oh,
other
well,
guy.
there we go. That's before he met me.
So, let me give you a really great example of anchoring in the real world.
Yes.
I'm supposed to be the king of lot premiums. Okay.
Yes.
People,
Okay.
I'm supposed to really like be really good at that.
Good.
And so,
No.
and I work up pretty hard at it.
Oh,
And there's a
good.
whole bunch of analytical things we do as well as emotional things.
Oh,
On the
perfect.
emotional side, if you take your best lot,
Yeah, home site can, yeah, yeah, yes, yeah.
we're talking, we can say lot. You take our
I
best
got these.
lot.
I gotta throw my balls at you. Anybody that knows me is like, I gotta throw these balls at you for saying lot, but that's okay.
No,
Yeah,
when we talk professionally,
you're the king
I'm
of it, so
allowed
you
to
can
use
say
all the
it.
bad terms when we talk
Yeah, no,
professionally.
it's okay. It's true. You're a guest on my podcast. You can say whatever you want.
The um, you look at your best lot, and as a general rule, most builders undervalue their best lot and
Right.
overvalue their worst lot.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
So you take your best lot and you think it's worth $20,000. And let's assume there's a decent sized subdivision, there's plenty of lots. I'm going to
Right.
throw $40,000 on it.
No, I agree with that. Absolutely, all day long.
And it's the anchor. So now
Yes.
watch.
Right.
I put 40 on that, and the one that before you thought was 17 against the 20, I put
Right.
32 on
Perfect.
that.
Right.
And then I put another one at 25. And I
Right.
go to
Right.
sell the one at 25, and a couple comes in, a man and a woman, and the man says, honey, I think I want to buy that $25,000 premium lot. She says, you're going to pay $25,000 for a lot premium? And he can now say, I didn't spend 40.
Right. No, I
But,
totally
but
agree.
if
Yeah.
that anchor isn't there, he
Yeah.
can't say it. And
Yeah.
but more
Yeah.
than even that, in your own mind, I'm closer to the middle. I'm where I should
No,
belong.
I totally get it. Yeah, I've lived that life. It's great advice, and I've shocked some of my builders with high home site premium. Will sort of play that game, and I'm thrilled that I did. But maybe they'll settle slightly less than what I recommend. But if you don't do that, you're not creating contrast, right, for your home sites because people will just take all the good
That's
ones,
why I have a
and you're
unique
leaving
lot.
profits on the table.
That's why I have a unique lot premium on every lot. People say
Yeah,
these two
yeah.
lots are the same. Well, you
No,
should
they're
go with the one
not.
that's a little cheaper. Hurry up.
Right, right. I'm totally with you. I love what you're saying. I literally just had this all again on the same call with townhomes where they had all the interiors were the same. I said they're not the same. You need to price them differently to give people food to thought. Worst case scenario, if you choose to negotiate the home site premium or the view premium, that's up to you. But at least you're creating a differentiator, for buyers. Otherwise, they're all the same. I'll come back next week or the week after. There's no reason to buy now if you can't identify those differences.
Well,
So
that's
I
exactly
love
right.
it.
That's
Yeah,
exactly right.
yeah,
There's
good.
a million reasons. They also
Yeah, yeah,
individual premiums create uniqueness, and uniqueness
yeah.
is a
There we go. Oh my
is an
gosh.
anchor
No,
all
that's
by
so
itself.
perfect. Yeah, yeah. I
Before
know
we end
that
up, I'll tell you one more good example.
okay, please, yeah.
We'll talk about options and upgrades.
Okay,
Recessed
sure.
lights.
Mm-hmm.
The margin that you can make on a recessed light is significantly different than the margin that you can make on a washer and dryer. And the real reason is because everyone can see the price of a washer and dryer, but nobody can really understand the price of a recessed light because the recessed light that they see for $30 is on the shelf at Home Depot, and the one I gave you had an
Right.
electrician, 12-foot ladder,
Right.
warranty, a trim, a bulb, a permit, and your salespeople need to be able to say that. Well, I
Right.
can't believe you're charging $170 a light for a recessed light. Hey,
Right.
I saw them at Home Depot for $30.
Right.
You want to
Yeah.
go to Home Depot and buy lights, have a
Right.
party. You want them in your
Right.
12-foot ceiling, they're $170.
Installed, warranted, exactly. Part of a proactive warranty where we'll come back and replace them and do that
Right.
kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. So
But
yeah,
that's why
that's
we have
perfect.
variable margin pricing, by the way, because
Can
no two
you
things are the same.
So can you just talk about that to make sure that we totally get it? I don't want there's a lot of what you said that I think people go, yeah, I think I know what you mean. But when you say, because I know that so as I work for a builder in Southwest Florida that I love working for them, and that we started building. The price range was from 1.5 to about 10 million. A mix. It was mainly in our communities, but some on your lot. By the way, before I get off track, there was a home site premium of 800,000 that I sold to a customer. Talking of high premiums, but the buyers loved it. was an acre on a lake and in a gated community. It was well worth it. But we offered fixed pricing or variable pricing. 99% of people chose the fixed pricing. It was a much better deal. You could say that, hey, you can buy this now. The price is locked in for the 8 months of building, and that's it. Variable pricing would adjust with the market. But that's my understanding of it. But
No,
could you
I'm
explain
talking
what?
about margin. I'm talking
Oh, okay.
about a lot of builders, they try to make 20% on all their houses.
Oh, okay.
25% gross.
I'm so sorry. That's why I wanted to make sure I
This
understood.
plan is an 18% plan, and this plan's a 29% plan. This
I
option is
see.
a 15% margin, and this option's a 100% 50% margin. So it's that's what I mean by variable margin pricing.
And you're saying that's acceptable. That needs to be the case because of the way
It's
the
not
market is.
acceptable, it's correct.
Okay, there we go. I think
Let's go to the
that's
movies and buy popcorn.
right. Well, it's so
A
expensive.
small popcorn's $5.
I know
And,
it's
and, the, and
crazy.
then the guy says, but sir, for just $1 more, you could have the bucket that no human could
Right.
consume.
And it's refillable. You can go back for more. I know that's the big
Right,
catch here. That in America, it's a scam. In England, when I grew up, that you have no refillable sodas. In this country, you pay more, but you go back and you can make yourself really fat if you want to.
right.
It's a
But here's the
wonderful
bottom
thing.
line. As a margin, percentage wise, they
Yes.
make less money on the big popcorn.
Oh,
But in
really?
terms
Okay.
of
Yeah.
real dollars, they make more money.
Right.
Okay, that's one of the keys to variable margin pricing, to
Right.
understand when margin as a percentage
Okay.
has no meaning.
There we go. Okay, good. I mean, I feel like we've got an exercise in business school here, but that makes sense. But I think some builders are tied into something they learned from somebody one time, which is we got to, have a gross of this and a net of this, whatever that might
That's
be.
all
And
bogus.
you're saying you can liberate yourself, untether
That's all
yourself from
bogus. In
that.
fact, you have to liberate yourself because
Good.
otherwise you're just the victim of one size fits all. I never
Right.
bought anything in my life one size fits all that I really liked.
No. Right, right. Is there a way to maximize obviously to take what you teach and maximize it so you don't have such a big delta from 12% to 30% or something? Is that just wrong to have such a big
No,
delta or
I
that's
mean you
unavoidable?
no, it's some of
No.
it's unavoidable, like washers and dryers.
Right.
People know what they
Yep.
cost. You can't
Right.
make you try to get 35 points on a washer and dryer, they're going to call you a crook.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then
Yeah.
now we're back to those core values
I said
and
that you've lost
about
trust.
perception.
Right. So the perception
Before
is
we
so
finish,
bad if you do it.
I'll make this final
No,
statement.
this is great. Yeah, I realize that it's my Bush Academy is at 2 and we got a little bit of time, so I was putting pressure on myself
I've got somebody at
unnecessarily.
1 Eastern in 5 minutes. So,
Okay.
by the way, a builder from Michigan,
Oh, lovely.
very, very good builder. So, I forgot what I was going to say.
Didn't they just win the thingamajig, the March
Oh,
Madness? Wasn't that Michigan?
yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. The, 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 the bottom line is that when you price,
Yes.
you got to price to the market. You got to price with I know what I was going to say. For buyers, their perception is their reality.
Yes.
It's all about their perception. So you always have to be thinking about how are they perceiving. There's really three
Sure.
prices. There's the
Right.
advertised price, there's the perceived price, and then there's the analytical price.
Sure.
So you look at the ad and it says 1 week in 1 week in Ireland for 29.95. That's the advertised price. And then you see another guy 1 week in Ireland for 22.95. That's the advertised price. For many buyers, their first perception is, I should look at that one because it's cheaper.
Right.
But then you're supposed to do the analytical price. So you go in and you discover the one for 22.95 does not include tax and tips, and the one
There
for
we go.
29.95 does.
It's a complete price. Yeah. Yeah.
So
But you have
so
to have all
now
the
you have to
information.
so those when you sell and you create pricing, you need to be thinking all the time about what is the customer's perception of that price? How do I
Right.
explain that
Good.
price?
Amazing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the buyer can go to Lowe's or Home Depot and find you out on that, then you've lost trust, you've lost credibility. There's only
Exactly.
so much explaining that we frontline salespeople can do before buyers go, I just don't want to work with you anymore. I don't trust you. So that's great to have that nimbleness again, back to flexibility, that, in your purchasing, that you don't always have to hit the same margins on everything. It's just not doable. It's great. Yeah. If it's a commodity, they go out and compare, then I think that makes total sense. Well, we are wrapping up. As I had a feeling that an hour would fly by here. Could you give us maybe one don't and one do for
Yeah,
2026? Like
I'll use
one.
your own word that you just used. Number one, don't be a commodity seller. That's a race
Okay,
to the bottom.
there we go.
Every
Okay.
farmer will tell you that. By the
Yeah.
way, when do you get a lot of money for your crop? Well, when it's really hard to grow and I hardly have anything to sell. And when do you get hardly any money for your crop? When the weather's good and all the other farmers have a lot to sell.
You're right. Well, there's a bounty. Yeah.
That's not the way to make a living.
Right.
And then my
Interesting.
final thought would be when you price your products,
Yes.
really understand the entire I have an article that I wrote called The 15 Functions of a Home Building Company. One of
Okay.
those functions is pricing.
But where did we get that article, by the way?
Sure,
Should I
sure,
attach it to this? I'll
sure.
attach it to this as long as your website as well. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Zero problem.
Okay.
But I have pricing as a strategic function.
Hmm.
Most builders give that away to the estimating department or to the sales
Right.
department,
Right.
neither
Right.
of whom is fully qualified because they don't
Excellent.
understand the full ramifications strategically of poor
Right.
price.
Right.
That'll be my final thought.
So your final thought is pricing as a strategy should be what you should be looking at. That's the do for 2026 and beyond.
That should do. Be a better
Um,
pricer.
okay, good. With a strategy in mind, not just tactical. I love it. Al Trellis, it's been a pleasure. People want to find you, your website address. If you don't mind, I'll attach it again, but just to be safe.
And
What is it?
remember, I'm not keeping my website looking really great. I
No, yeah,
criticize
it's not as
everybody
pretty as
else's
mine.
website, but I don't improve my own. I'm
Well, that's
probably
okay.
need to talk to my son about either we take it down or we build something simpler.
You don't have to be embarrassed, but it's hbnet.com, is
H
it?
HBNNET.com.
hbnnet.com. And plus, we'll put it on the link here. Thank you so much. It's been an
We
absolute pleasure
didn't even get
delving
to
the
talk
mind.
about product, which the
No,
big
no.
three, by the way, are product,
Okay.
pricing, and sales. Of the
Right,
15 functions,
right,
three that I don't want to say they're the most important, but the
right.
ones that are the most not at the level where they should be are those
Yeah.
three.
Well, why don't I do this? I got an idea that just came to me. Why don't we do a part two of this? Let's rest for a little bit because I think they've got so much to unpack. They're going to have to play this back a few times and make a lot of notes and then reach out to you to get your coaching. But why don't we come back at the end of the summer and maybe do a part two where you can delve more into that? Would that be okay? I don't want to rush it.
Whenever I love to talk anytime.
Yeah, after you've gone on your trip to England or the White Cliffs of Dover, I mean, and you'll come back refreshed and we'll
I'll
talk
be thinking
again.
about you all when I'm in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, have some fish and chips and think about me. That'd be great.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Al. Cheers. Thank you
I'm
so
going to
much.
leave, Roland, go to the other Zoom. Bye-bye.
That sounds great. Bye.
And see